Ahoy! Captain Benzie here, coming at you with an Intel Report, the series that looks at each unit in Command & Conquer Rivals like a slowly shattering pane of glass, with both awe at the spectacle and the horror that it's going to end up everywhere. This channel is supported only by ad revenue and my epic crew of Patreons. Shout out to you guys for being so fantastically awesome. If you want to help support my content, you can do so over at Patreon or by liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Come join us on the Gaming Galleon Discord to talk about Command & Conquer Rivals and a whole bunch of other games, mobile and otherwise. I also want to give out a humongous shout out and thank you to JadeXyan for offering to help get this Intel report done, adding her own little twist to the editing. As usual, we'll start with the basic rundown of the unit, followed by the suggested decks, and ending with a featured replay. Today we are looking at last at the GDI Sniper teams. The Sniper team is an elite infantry unit used for eliminating enemy infantry at long range. In addition to their high caliber GLS-70 sniper rifle, the Sniper team sports a distinctive ghillie cloak, the sight of which strikes fear into Nod infantry the world over. Sniper teams are infantry built from the GDI barracks. Their swift movement allows them to reposition and redeploy quickly, where they can set up their rifles and crack off a volley of shots at enemy infantry from a 2-hex distance. This volley is not dissimilar to attack bikes. It's got a short wind-up, 3 quick shots, then a brief period whilst they reload. Being able to do this from 2 hexes away and with their quick movement, snipers can snap off a volley, then quickly pull back to a new position, ready to fire again. Being able to shoot from behind friendly units also gives snipers a major advantage in that they can often be very difficult to take out. It's all very well and good rushing a unit of flame troopers towards a sniper team, but that flame squad will struggle to get past a war dogs pack that stood in their way, and all that time, the sniper team is firing at them. This is an important aspect to learn with snipers, like with the MLRS and Giga Cannons. Sniper teams are incredibly fragile, and any anti-infantry unit that manages to get up to them will do some serious damage. Cyber wheels, buggies, and other anti-infantry vehicles are problematic for sniper teams, as whilst their rifles do heavy damage against infantry, they are pitiful against vehicles. That said, at least they can hit vehicles. Drone swarms, venoms, and talons are ultimately the biggest thorn in a sniper team's side, as not only do they do hefty anti-infantry damage, not only are the sniper teams utterly helpless against them, they can also fly over and ignore any unit blocking for the snipers. When using sniper teams, you will need to learn to control them and direct them quickly and efficiently, being able to get them into position to do heavy damage against your opponent's infantry, then peeling them away from combat and retreating through your own units back to safety. When dealing with enemy sniper teams, the aforementioned air units are your best bet. Any anti-infantry vehicle can do well, but you may have to get creative in order to bypass any blocking units. Of course, one of the best and most creative ways to deal with snipers is to ignore them. Snipers can't hit air, and they do almost nothing to vehicles, so unless you absolutely need those snipers dead, if you're running a heavy infantry deck for example, then you can often safely just ignore them, build tanks or other vehicles, and leave your opponent with a useless sniper team taking up population cap. So that's the basics of using and facing sniper teams, but what kind of deck do they work well? As usual, I have 2 deck suggestions with a featured replay following right after. Now the first deck I would suggest is a 3-3 Barracks and War Factory aggro deck that I know that Mav is running on ladder currently. This deck is a barracks opener with rifles forming your main scouting unit. Use these in a 2v1 defensive situation and they will beat shockwaves and flame troopers. Missile squads deal with cyber wheels and war dogs early on, and are great against anti-vehicle aircraft too. Finally, snipers fill in as this deck's main anti-infantry option. Protect them and they will kill many times their own cost. The War Factory has pit bulls as early anti-vehicle and air, and can also be used in multiples to swarm much heavier threats than you might expect. Slingshots provide heavy anti-aircraft suppression, with those pit bulls doing the extra shot that it takes to clear out heavy air like Orca bombers and Infernos. Finally, Predator tanks round out the War Factory and provide your main weapon for punching out ground vehicles. Here, Strong Arm is a good choice as her turret can body block for your snipers, and the extra damage it adds to fights can swing them to your favour. It's also fantastic for gunning down drone swarms before you can get your slingshots out. JadeXyan can work as an alternative to Strong Arm though quite comfortably. Now the second deck is a variation of that good old Strong Arm air deck. Here we have a barracks opener with missiles as your basic scouting unit for a change. Send out your harvester and then scout along its route with missiles. This will help deal with early rushes, and missiles are great for stopping Wardog and Cyberwheel openers. Snipers are your main anti-infantry, keep them behind other units or Strong Arm's turret to rinse through any infantry your opponent sends out. Grenadiers are here to deal with almost any ground vehicle threat that can be thrown their way. The helipad has talons for early anti-air punch and for cleaning up infantry that your snipers may be unable to get to. Mohawks again provide a solid pad-holding unit and can clear away those pesky multi-range vehicles. Finally, the hammerheads keep the skies clear for your own air units to dominate. Strong Arm's turret is again preferred as it forms a great retreat point for your air units and for your snipers, and as before, gives you that little bit of an extra swing to any fights you may need it to. Now finally we come to the featured replay section of each intel report, where I shoutcast a replay that showcases the unit in action. Without further ado, let's jump right in. In this particular replay we have Nicole on the left and Alicia Destiny on the right, two of our top players both running sniper decks, both running very similar sniper decks in fact. As you'll see here, Nicole is running missile troopers, whereas Alicia has swapped those out for hammerheads. Now both players go straight off the bat with harvesters out of the gate. Alicia then goes scouting with level 15 war dogs. Nicole goes scouting with his missile troopers. Now, two war dog squads against one missile squad is always going to be a problem, so Nicole brings out a second missile squad to match and pushes Alicia back. This does mean that Alicia has considerably more in the way of economy at the moment, and it's more than enough to open up the barracks and bring out a sniper squad. Even though the sniper squad is 2 levels down, you can see the damage that they can pull through to those missile troopers. Nicole doesn't particularly care. He brings out his pitbull. That pitbull starts dealing some damage to the war dogs. Alicia answers with her own pitbull. Now Nicole takes this as an opportunity to pull out a tank. Unfortunately, it looks like that first missile is squarely going to Alicia Destiny. Not much really going on at the moment, just a lot of trading back and forth. That sniper team sort of keeping its distance up in the top there, keeping well protected. Nicole trying to keep things on his side, dealing with those vehicles. Those missile troops are there ultimately just to push through Alicia's vehicles, including her tanks. But again, those sniper squads just come through and deal some hefty damage to that missile squad. It's just there to block through here straight away. You can see that the tanks do almost nothing to the snipers, but the snipers are just taking those missile squads out of action. Nicole just cannot keep his missile squads on the board long enough for them to actually do anything as long as those snipers are standing there taking aim. Now, as you'd expect from an Alicia Destiny match, everything has devolved into a tank war at this point in time. A missile squad does come in, just about finishes off Predator, but again the snipers make very quick work of them. A second Predator comes through, and it does look like it's going to take out that Predator despite the Liang drone. It does, but Alicia just doesn't give up. If all else fails, continue to spam tanks. She comes into position here, brings those snipers down to deal with those missile squads. Second tank's punched through. The pitbull is trying to take in the top right. No, Liang drone takes it. Can it contest? Alicia is holding on by the skin of her teeth. A missile squad is coming around to the north. I just don't think we're going to have time. 2 missile squads to block off the Predator there. The snipers come in, and again, you can see the damage, even though it's only 2 snipers and they're underleveled. The sheer power that those snipers can push against other infantry just rips them apart, clears that pad. Alicia looking like she is very much going to take this second missile. Second laser squad goes down. Nice little, a little taunt there. Lang versus Lang, sniper versus sniper. Alicia Destiny, just with her micro, gets those snipers into the perfect position time and time again, keeps her tanks moving, and just pummels her way to a victory. Well done, Alicia. And that's how you use your snipers.
I hope that's helpful.
Be sure to check out my other intel reports if you're struggling against certain units, or looking for tips as to how to best apply a new unit in your deck. Also check out my Acting on Instinct series with analysis of game mechanics and solid advice on how to get ahead in Rivals. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and be sure to subscribe to be up to date and ahead of the game. Happy sailing, and see you on the battlefield!